What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Heroclix video. Today we're going to look at some Empyre figures. More specifically, we're going to look at the commons and uncommon figures that I believe are the most competitive, most viable, or will be figures that you'll see the most in competitive play. Of course, you know, any home games, any casual games, almost all these figures are going to be great, but we're only looking at the competitive modern and bronze, if we can delve into that. So I have 7 figures here from the common and uncommon slot, and you know, we'll be doing videos for rares, super rares, and chases and primes as well. So starting off, we have the 002 Skrull Spy. It's a sidekick, and it has a trait Secret Invasion, sideline active. For all characters with this trait, when an opposing character is KO'd, you may choose a Skrull Spy on your sideline and roll a d6. 5 or 6, generate the chosen Skrull Spy from your sideline on click 2 in the square the character was KO'd, last occupied. The KO'd character was last occupied. A couple things to note here, it's 20 points for 4 clicks. So that's already pretty good for these figures that are generated from leadership roles. We've already seen this starting from the Wonder Woman set. You know, we've seen the Amazon Bana Migdals, the Minotaurs, stuff like that, and then we have the Shi'ar warriors, soldiers. But these guys are 4 clicks, whereas I think those guys were 3. They brought back shape change. That's coming in from the bench just to help out the Skrulls. Of course, it has Skrull team ability, close combat expert, and shape change. If you're going to be seeing teams with Skrull leaders that can generate these guys, of course you're going to see these guys, but also, you don't have to play Skrulls to make these guys good, because their sideline active ability is what's gonna make them be more viable, because you can throw 1 or 2 on the sideline just in case you KO something and they could take its place. So I think these guys will definitely see some play, just like you see Sentinels. Every now and then you might see Skrull Spies. The interesting thing to note now with all these sideline active abilities, that sideline's getting really full really fast, so troublemakers might not see as much play anymore, or less of it. Alright, moving on, we have the Kree Soldier. So very much similar to the Skrull. It's 4 clicks, 20 points. You know, opposite Kree, Skrull that's Kree. Doesn't have any traits. It's a sidekick, but it does have an 11 attack, which is already better, and it has running shot, ESD, and enhancement, sidestep on the back end. This is a really solid piece for the Kree characters, but the characters that can generate these guys, it's gonna be really good, because if they do take damage and they got enhancement, they'll help out their fellow Kree characters. But also, if they themselves get enhanced, it's an 11 for 3 running shot. It's pretty solid. I foresee this to be less played than the Skrull Spies, just because you don't have to play the characters that generate them. You could just play them on the sideline. But nonetheless, this should see some play. You know, generics are always going to be good. The third one here is the number 15 common, Onome. Another sidekick, but she's also a captain. 5 clicks. Her trait, I optimize your equipment, hope you don't mind. Friendly sidekicks using outwit, perplex, or prob may use it a second time each turn. Note that she is also a sidekick, so she can use her outwit twice. So if you think about it, for 40 points you get double outwit, because she has outwit her entire dial. 5 clicks, sidestep with the Fantastic Four team ability. Scientist keyword is of course solid, because a lot of scientists will have said powers of outwit, perplex, prob. But the more sidekicks come out that have these powers, the better they become. Because on the Fantastic Four team, for example, you could play Valeria for 20 points, or Franklin that has prob for 20 points, I believe. And with Onome on the board, they each have double prob, double perplex. It's pretty solid for 40 points. And she also gets double outwit. So this is something that I think could see more play the more sidekicks we see. But on her own, on a scientist team, double outwit for 40 points isn't bad. Okay, and the next one we have the uncommon number 19 Rocket Raccoon. 5 clicks. It has the follow-up trait, which is a new trait that has been introduced in this set. Reads free once per turn for all characters with a follow-up trait. Make an attack using Rocket Raccoon's printed combat values, but only to target a single character hit with an attack made by another friendly character with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword. So his free attack is contingent on another Guardians of the Galaxy character hitting, which also means if he's carried and they were hit, then he can just follow up free attack hit with his printed values. Note that the follow-up trait works only once for the whole turn, because it says characters once per turn for all characters with a follow-up trait. So they're different follow-up traits. They just all have, they're all named follow-up, but they have different requirements, like different keyworded guys that need to hit. So with an 11 for 3 with 6 range, 2 bolts, that's not a bad follow-up attack. 50 points. He has leadership. You know, I don't know how viable the follow-up trait will be, but anytime you have free attacks after someone was carried or someone moved, that's always worth looking at. So that's why I put this on here. This is at least worth looking at. Similarly, we have Agent May, number 27. She's 6 clicks, 50 points, martial artist, shield spy. She has improved targeting hindering, but she has the recruiter trait, which is another new trait that they introduced in the set. And her recruiter is shield. And it reads power. Choose a character with the shield keyword in your KO area that hasn't been chosen for or generated by a recruiter effect. If you do, generate a character with the shield keyword from your sideline that has a lower point value than the chosen character. They can't be replaced and they scored immediately. And then she has charge stealth as a special attack, foot power. Her stats are fine. 50 points is, I guess, on par, but that recruiter effect is what we're going to look at here. Basically, someone needs to get KO'd already for you to use recruiter, because it says you have to choose a shield character in your KO'd area, which means someone has to already be there, which means somebody has to already be KO'd. And then you choose someone else from your sideline to come in that is lower points. So if a 50-point shield guy died, you can bring 40 points or less from your sideline. Again, I don't know how good that'll be, but much like free attacks, anytime you can generate extra characters on the board, that's always something to at least consider, take a look at. And worst comes to worst here, she is charged stealth with 18 reflexes, leadership, 11 attack, with back and outwit. She's not bad. We'll see how good the recruiter mechanic will be, but I expect some people to at least experiment with it. And then the last two, we have Daredevil, number 30. This is specifically the 25-point version, because the higher point version, although good, I mean, does not nearly as good as the 25.1. It has a bunch of keywords: Avengers, Defenders, Heroes for Hire, Martial Artists, Marvel Knights, Spider Family. Movement, ignores elevating characters, targeting hindering, and he has stealth. So he's going to be hard to attack, hard to lock down, because he can just move everywhere. And he has flurry with prob. 3 bolts in cap. Spider-Man team ability. On the surface, 25 points might be a lot for 2 clicks, but 25 points for prob, that's going to be kind of tough to attack because he'll have stealth. He has reflexes if they hit him. And, you know, if he can use some ATAs in bronze, for example, Heroes for Hire, he's a really cheap Heroes for Hire character that you can add those 8 points to, and then that ATA is going to be even better. But also, he is a cheap Spider Family character that has prob, or a wildcard character that has prob, which we're always looking at, right? So maybe he might not see as much play, but if you want a dedicated prob on a Spider Family team, then this is your guy. They might go after him real quick, but if they do, it's only 25 points. So definitely worth looking at. I think this guy's decent. In bronze, he has a lot more applications, which we can delve further when we get there. And then the last figure here is Loki, the number 26. I think this is the best one out of the bunch. He's 60 points, 6 clicks, Asgardian, deity, Guardians of the Galaxy, mystical, Young Avengers. And he has prob. Of course, I'm going to look at that already. And he has Mystic Team ability. And he has rally, which is 2, which is all attack rolls. So anybody who attacks that gets a 2, that rolls a 2 in it, he could put it on his card. And it says, free, remove a rally die to place Loki in any square within 2 squares. If you do, generate another one on click 9 in the square he last occupied. And if Loki started the game on click 9, he can't gain rally and has 0 point value for all effects. This guy's pretty amazing for his points. Because anytime you can generate extra characters, that's always something worth looking at. And in this case, they're going to be 0 points with Mystics and Prob. Oof. And because his rally die is all attack rolls, you can do it on your turn and your opponent's turn. That's really useful, and you have a higher chance of getting those dice. But he has Prob, 11 attack, 6 clicks. And then if you generate these guys, I think this guy could definitely see some more play. 60 points might be a little steep for the 60 for 6 clicks. I mean, look, it's definitely still good, but because of how the point values are, 50 points, 6 clicks is kind of like the baseline nowadays. But the fact that he can generate more of himself, which gives you more prob and more mystics, and also they have blades, so they can actually hit. This guy should definitely see more some play. I think in bronze, this guy could get crazy just because you can do all kinds of things on there. But nonetheless, I think this is the best uncommon. I'll definitely take a look at this guy. But that's the first batch of commons and commons that we're looking at, or the first batch, which are commons and commons, where we're looking at the most viable characters that you could play competitively. We'll be back with the rares, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, if I missed any, if I overestimated or underestimated anything, and we'll be back for more. Alright, so until next time, remember guys, only bad players win the dice. See ya!